What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another day, another dollar. We're going to be breaking down our futures contract. I do apologize for my absence yesterday. I just was busy with a bunch of things that needed to get done. And so, basically Christmas shopping and so on and so forth. So there were a few things that needed to get taken care of yesterday. So there was no video. I didn't even have an opportunity to break down my charts like I would normally do even for myself. So we got to do a little bit of updating, a little bit, just kind of go over what happened yesterday and then today in the short term. So just real brief on the daily, right? The daily's one time framing up. When we closed on Friday, we closed breaking out of balance to the upside. Now we do have a premium gap that does not matter a significant amount because it's just a premium gap, so nothing major in the daily as far as gaps go. So ES is a little bit different from what SPY is looking like right now, and we'll look at SPY just to kind of give a more clear picture when we look at our larger time frames here in just a second. But the daily has been firmly one time framing up 3 days in a row. We've gotten every upside destination that we've had on our chart. There's only a few more upside destinations until we get to our all-time high of 48.0825. We are continuously setting new yearly highs going into the end of December. Right now we're midway through it. We'll soon be coming into the end of December, and Santa Rally has proven to be pretty positive. There was at one point in time where things were looking kind of grim. We weren't quite sure if we were going to get that Santa Rally, and 2 months later, here we are at new yearly highs, sitting at 4,700, or just below it is where we closed. In the after hours, we probed up to 4,700. So just real brief, let's go over our 30-minute time frame. Yesterday was a double distribution day. We took that back early this morning, opened up in the upper distribution, filled the set of single prints to the downside. We had gotten our overnight low from the overnight session today, and we got our overnight high late in the evening, which was right around that 46.97 level. So it was a very interesting day, to say the least, especially since we had such a quick inventory adjustment right off the rip. There were a few opportunities today to get long at a really good price. Other than that, if you did get long, there was absolutely no reason for you to get out of the trade on the long side, as we were one time framing up. You just wanted to look for opportunity to get long. One of the few and rare opportunities, was a pullback in C period against the open to get above the previous day's high and get the initial balance high, and then slowly work our way up to the overnight high. After that, you could have gotten a few points to the upside. There was only one trade that I took today, which was on a short side, and it was to stop the one-time framing down. Made well on that, but that provided a great opportunity to be a buyer around this 46.7825 level, right? You had single prints below you. Everything was in favor of the buyers, and so buying right there was a great opportunity. Even buying at these lows right here around 46.81 was a great opportunity to buy. After that, guess what? We did nothing but one time frame up the rest of the evening. We have I believe a triple distribution day. So we go out with a triple distribution day and an afternoon pullback low. So a triple distribution being from the lower being all of A's range from A's high to A's low, and then you have from C's low to, it would appear 46.89 would be the middle distribution, and then you would have, I guess all of M's range would be the upper distribution. So textbook afternoon pullback low setup right there. Something I'm definitely going to be looking more towards now that we're breaking out of balance to the upside. So very, very good risk reward trade there. 46.78, looking to stop out 46.75.25, right? You get stopped out there, you're risking 3 points. and it was basically to rotate up to 46.84. Obviously, you could have taken some off the table there and let this thing ride on up. So very few opportunities, just a slow grind up. Volume was very light, not anything too significant. Like I said, I didn't trade a whole lot as I'm fairly busy. So the main thing I want to review today is our larger time frames, and we'll just kind of briefly look at those on the ES, and then we'll look at them on the SPY, because there's one in particular that I want to show you guys, which is the monthly chart on SPY. It's going to look a little different from the ES chart on the monthly. So I do need to mark our low of days real quick from the previous day, from the 11th. Like I said, as I did not mark those, so we'll mark that low of day. We have today's low of day. All right, here at 46.6225. 46.6225. Low day 12.12.23. Then we have our single prints that fill here at 73.50. 73.50. Mark those. So if for any reason this market is to pull back, that would be a downside destination. You look to fill, right? Buyers want to hold it, sellers want to fill it. It's like an intraday gap. That's what all single prints are essentially. 75.50. We'll mark those. Boom. Single print start 12.12.23. Then we have our textbook afternoon pullback low. Great buying opportunity right there. That's actually where I got out of my short. I got out of my short at 79. And that was a great opportunity to flip long. I was looking a little lower, maybe closer to the single prints, because usually we don't hold trend. And considering we filled this very small set that we had initially, we filled those, had a nice pullback. I was looking maybe a little lower against the open because I was not expecting us to grind up higher like we did. So just a prevailing bid beneath this market right now. Very light volume, but nonetheless, it is there and grinding this market higher. So is the larger time frame starting to get squeezed out of their shorts? And that's what we'll look at here. That's something I definitely want to point out here. But the afternoon pullback low setup proving to be a very, very good buy today. So maybe that comes back into the A+ setup guidelines coming soon, especially if we continue to one time frame up and really start to get this market underway. Now we do have the Fed coming out tomorrow. So Fed coming out tomorrow, discuss rate hikes and or lack of rate hikes, right? So if they come out and say that they're potentially looking at cuts in the near future, guess what? This market will probably fuel the rally even more so to the upside. I'll be very surprised to see it pull back. I'm sure somebody out there is probably like, oh yeah, no, it's negative for the economy, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm not what the fuck, economist. Why can't I say that word? I'm not an economist by any means. I just look at charts and know how to mark shit on it. But nonetheless, I do think it would be good for the overall market if rates were to begin to pull back here a little bit. Constantly living in a high rate environment is not beneficial to the economy for a prolonged period of time. So because then you have to start worrying about other things, not inflation, but things like stagflation, so on and so forth. So probably should have paid more attention to economics class when I was in high school. And then we have single prints that start right here, 92.75. We'll review the destinations as I've been marking them. Kind of not really discussing what they are. If you know, you know. If not, then hopefully you'll stick around long enough to find out. And then we have today's high of day up here at 98.50. 98.50. High day 12.23. Okay. So there you have it. There's our destinations. So we have a triple distribution day, right? Lower distribution being this area that I'm highlighting currently. Middle distribution being this area that I'm highlighting currently. And the upper distribution being this area that I'm highlighting currently. So triple distribution day. So that basically means each one of these areas will be treated as a separate day and everything in between is a gap. So basically you have all of this volume and price here, right? Boom, gapped up, volume and price accumulated, boom, gapped up, volume and price accumulated. So buyers want to open up above basically 46.92.75, take out today's high 46.98.50 and get into that 4700 handle. If they cannot, you'll look to rotate back into the middle distribution where buyers most certainly want to stay above the previous day's high at 79.50 and where the single print started at 78.25, afternoon pullback low. So this will be the last stand. If we do not hold the middle distribution, you will come down and test the previous day's low and potentially take out the low, putting ourselves back into a balance. And then beneath, there really isn't anything. There's a whole fucking vacuum to the downside. For once you get below 46.53, I mean, this market could really tank to the downside. I'm not looking for that. All right. I just want to, be aware of where this market could really get to move into the downside or have lack of movement because of the lack of destinations that are nearby. So maybe if we were to pull back, put ourselves into a balance, maybe 46.50 level will be an area that we kind of hold because of the lack of anything beneath that 46.50 level for the algorithms or short-term traders to target on the downside. Now for the upside, I don't have much. We'll have to look at the daily chart to kind of give you guys those destinations, and we'll look at that real quick. But basically, all you have today is today's high at 46.98.50, the visual level at 4,700, and then we'll start listing off some daily highs. Next daily high is going to be 46.36.25 that you look to take out. Above there, 47.39.50 is going to be your next daily high. Above there, 47.88.25, your next daily high, and then 48.08.25 all-time high, daily high. So, market. Let's look at the larger picture here. Let's look at the larger picture, shall we? Let's look at the monthly on ES. Like I said, it's going to be very different from what the SPY is looking like, especially because of the rollover. But monthly is one time framing up in ES. We are above that 46.33.50, mostly due to the gap in the premium. However, we are one time framing up in the monthly. No matter what, we would have taken out last month's high and gotten close to that monthly balance. But now we are breaking out of that monthly balance high right there at 46.33.50. Something I want to look at here. I'm trying to remember which one of these is SPY. No, we're just going to make this SPY real quick. And we'll look at the monthly here in SPY. Monthly on SPY is kind of looking the same, not necessarily breaking out as significant or with much extension above. However, that same monthly high from July, which is what I was using for ES here on the futures contract, was that July high, right? Same thing. We are breaking out of balance to the upside. So now the monthly, anybody that was short, right, they're starting to get squeezed out. That's why I was saying in the bigger picture, could these shorts that got called down here finally begin to cover, right? Obviously, if they didn't cover on the way up here, they're most certainly covering, or rather the people that were getting short at a monthly balance high thinking that this market would potentially roll back over and they would collect a few points on the downside. Those people are starting to get squeezed out of this market, right? So we are breaking out on the monthly time frame. Okay, your next destination is going to be the high back from 2022. I believe that is what month is that? January. Yep, that's right. January 2022 is going to be our next destination on the monthly time frame for the upside. So monthly, one time framing up across the board. So we got all three of our larger time frames moving up. Your next destination for ES is going to be that 4808.25 level for the monthly time frame. Weekly continues to one time frame up. This weekly is strong. Okay, ignore the gap. Remember, it is a premium gap nonetheless. So the monthly or the weekly continues to one time frame up. We've been one time framing up several weeks in a row now. Even with the lack of extension above a previous week's high, if we were to look at SPY, I believe their weekly looks very similar, probably more clear and clean due to the they don't have any gaps or anything. But look at their, look at the last several weeks here. We've just been grinding up higher and higher, and anybody that's been getting short thinking this market's going to roll over, sucking wind, as Paul would say it, they're sucking wind as they've just been getting annihilated. Finally getting some good extension above last week's high. So very, very positive thing here for buyers. The one thing we want to see is more tempo to the upside. That is for certain. Nonetheless, this market is in a very bullish state. And, as long as the Fed doesn't come out tomorrow and say something stupid, this market should continue to drive higher. And hell, it might even be the catalyst that this market needs to spark the rally all the way up to the 4808 high. Okay. We get one candle like this week, right? That we had back here in October, 229 points. We're clearly setting new highs at that point on the ES. So very, very positive sign for both the monthly and the weekly. And then lastly, let's look at our daily time frame here. Let's look at the daily. Lastly, we'll look at the daily here. We've been one time framing up I shouldn't say several. Only 3 days we've been one time framing up, but really good extension. 20-day moving average continues to climb up. 50-day moving average continues to curl up. 200-day moving average moving on up, right? So we are now looking to attack those daily targets that were on the upside, 47.37, 47.39, I do believe, and then 47.88. So if this market really, really wants to pump in some volume here, we should get that no freaking problem. So for now, I think it is a very, you got to be cautious and obviously, pay attention to your market generated information. But for me, for now, I'm going to be looking to get long on any pullback in this market, as long as there isn't anything as far as market generated information on the short term telling me that I should not be getting long. That being, a trend day down, things of that nature, taking out a previous day's low, things like that would hinder me from getting long in this market. However, as long as we continue to set new highs on the daily and continue to one time frame up in our shorter term time frames with minimum pullback, I'm buying, baby. Buy, as Jim Cramer would say right now. So, or maybe he's saying sell. So do the absolute opposite of that fucking guy. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. If you guys came to hang out, I truly do appreciate it. We'll catch you guys in the next one, whether that be tomorrow, the day after, hell, I don't know. Whenever I make a video. See ya.